This episode is brought to you by Inspired Vapor Company.
Yeah, so this company is owned by Kevin and Blaine Tetz, and they have 3 locations, one in Melfort, Prince Albert, and Humboldt, Saskatchewan.
Their goal is to help people quit smoking by
vaping.
By vaping, yeah.
Right? So if you vape, if you need some guidance with that on maybe tapering off of nicotine or whatever the case may be, you just want some flavorable oil, then reach out. Flavorable. I almost stuttered when I said that.
Yeah.
So reach out to these guys at
inspiredvaporcompany.com
and use the promo Moose10 at checkout.
I'm counting on you.
Okay, well, you go. Say, hi, I'm James.
Hi, I'm James.
And
All
I'm
right.
Jason. And this is the
Episode 84.
Episode.
Hi, I'm James.
I'm Jason. And this is the 84th episode of the Sit Down Podcast. With guests, us.
Oh,
Me and him.
I love it.
So what you didn't mention is, I mean, you're in a band, right? Which band are you with?
Oh, I thought everyone knew that by now.
Slipknot.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to put that in there too, and I'll even have Slipknot go across the screen.
Okay, we'll do it again.
Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Jason. And we are from the band. We are
Oh.
from the band? Did I fuck that up?
Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Jason, and we are from the band 12 Years Today. And this is the 84th episode of the Sit Down Podcast featuring us, 12 Years Today.
Yay. You had way more lines than I did.
All right, guys, exciting news. So we can actually talk about this now.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while, but now we can actually
say
we
what the
have
heck
planned.
we've been very discreet about.
Yeah.
So we are collaborating with Skull Creek Studios and Prehistoric Productions, and the Capitol in Saskatoon. What we're going to be doing is hosting a Clash at the Cap, is what we're calling it.
So send a little bit of an intro, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, your influences.
Yeah, we'll give you a list in the description, but basically just send a video of one of your songs. YouTube probably is the best way to do it. A YouTube clip. Send it to that email address, and then
And you will be entered for a chance to play at Clash at the Cap. First one's going to be January 15th. Is where the event is, and then on January 22nd, the finalists will go there. Now the winner, tell them what the winner's going to get there, Mark.
So first of all, you get a spot to play at Moosefest, and you get a credit from Prehistoric Productions to get a music video made. You get a credit from Skull Creek Studios to record for a recording session, and you get a credit from Funky Moose Digital for digital marketing and web design.
That's right. So get those submissions in at clashatthecap@gmail.com. Welcome back, you guys. This is the second time on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I missed you guys. How you guys been?
It's
Up
been
and down.
It's been a tumultuous 2021.
Shit, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, well, how long how long has it been since you guys were on the show? Do you remember which episode?
Must have been a year. 12 years from today, you know.
Fucking might have been 12
Get it?
years, 12 months.
Get it?
12
I
months.
feel like there was snow on the ground. I feel like we were talking about it being an endless winter, but
Well, I'm going to look it up right now.
look
Yeah,
it up.
I'm going to go with February.
Yeah,
February.
Yeah,
possible, yeah.
I think that's what it was. That was a while ago, for sure.
So from our side, I'm no longer the producer.
Who is?
Yeah, I've been fucking pushing buttons for.
You're the guy who pushes record now?
I've been pushing record. I've been cutting shit out, slapping shit together, and then Mark just twiddles his thumb.
What brought the promotion on?
I fired the other producer because he wasn't doing up to my standards, so I shit-canned him.
Gotcha.
Told him to pack his shit and take off.
Now he's just sitting here being pretty.
Yeah, so I know it was episode 55. 6 months ago is when it was uploaded.
Oh, geez. So that's February, kind of.
Yeah, February, yeah.
February.
Yeah.
Math.
Muse Canada is an organization that connects the dots between creators, artists, and other people in the industry. So if you are a musician and you want to make a score for a movie, for example, Muse can help you connect, musicians with movie directors. Or if you're a visual artist and want your stuff in a music video, Muse can help you put people together.
Right. Think of it as like a networking thing for people across Canada in the arts.
Yeah.
If you're in that industry and you're looking for anything, chances are you're going to be able to find it there. So I'm going to have the information for Muse Canada in the description and below right here.
Yep.
So go in the description of this video, click on that link, and just go see what we're talking about. If you're a musician or an artist or a videographer, any of that kind of stuff,
check it out.
Just check out this link.
We were picking up momentum like a lot. And luckily enough, to speak to that, even during that downtime, we'll call it, we had a very, very strong support system.
Mm-hmm.
In literally just a matter of months, the people who became our fans just already stuck by us. Like they launched a campaign of sorts, raising awareness to what had happened, and not just for our sense, but just the fact that the policies were bullshit. You know, that the artists weren't being backed and all that. And it was very cool. As we've learned just very recently with our new release, our fans haven't gone anywhere. So
yeah, you can tell in the merch sales too.
That's right. Let's pivot and go into that, you guys. So recently, I guess for the listeners out there, you can now get 12 Years Today merch on the Funky Moose website.
Yeah. And so if you go on funkymooserecords.ca, there's a merch or merchandise tab, and 12 Years Today is under the artists. And sales have been pretty decent.
On fire.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys setting that up for us. It's
a huge help, because really, like, we've talked about doing it before, and it's just two of us, right? There's literally, it's just us, and for us to get all that done with everything else in our lives and all that stuff, it makes it pretty difficult. So you guys are for sure the reason why it's happening. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
We're only a small piece of the puzzle. I mean, if you don't make the music, we don't have anything to sell. So,
and if nobody buys it, it's pointless.
That's right.
No, I don't know if I'd go that far to say pointless, but
pointless, but definitely not very gratifying for anybody.
Right. I actually only got to listen to one of the new songs.
There's only one.
Is there one? I thought there was two.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was two. Well, then there you go. I got to listen to it today.
Yeah.
And I rather enjoy it. I'm very pleased with how that turned out.
I listened to it on Tidal.
Did you? I listened to it on YouTube.
Oh, good.
You want them to get paid, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I was like the 7th view. But
if you want us to get paid, just send us money, because we're never going to make money from
right.
That's the best way for us to get paid.
Yeah, donate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the song is titled, it's Blood in My Eyes, right?
Blood from our
Blood from Our Eyes is what it's titled.
Yeah.
And the creation of that song, was that like, did that start before all that bullshit with Spotify or like through the pandemic? Or can you give me like an origin story on that song?
I'll let Jay start with the music side for sure.
Yeah. Maybe 6 weeks ago at the latest, I picked up my guitar and I started jamming, and I was like, oh, this sounds cool. And I started just expanding from there. And that's usually how most of our songs for the music side are written. I could be Sunday morning, grab a cup of coffee, come in the music room, fire everything up, and start dicking around on the guitar, and something kind of happens and it's catchy, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's it.
Right.
So,
Right.
I think, I mean, that song came together very, very easily. Now it's a very, very simplistic song musically, like super simple. Most of the stuff I make is, but
Well,
the
it's not a bad thing.
no, it's not a bad thing. The structure of that song though is a little different from what I've done in the past. And like after the first chorus, there's that little breakdown piece that ends up returning after the second chorus, but as the bridge. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just the way it mapped out was really cool, and it was something a little different. And I was really excited about that one. I ended up making another one, which we're working on together now to release in the coming weeks. But yeah, I was really excited about that because it was a little more upbeat and not so boo-hoo like a lot of our songs are on the music side. They're relatively dark and whatever. This one kind of had a bit of pep in the step. Now the next one's very, very dark, so it makes up for it. But
Very boo-hoo.
yeah, very boo.
I like that you called it boo-hoo.
Very boohoo.
Boo-hoo.
And James, on the lyrics side of it, like how far into the song is he when you come in with lyrics?
Like writing process wise?
Yeah, like how much of like the instruments and beat and stuff is it like, here, James, like I'm working on this right now, or is it like this is all finished? Can you throw lyrics on this for this particular song?
All of it. All of it's done. It's generally how we roll with things. Jay will write how he wants the song to sound like, and then he'll send it to me once it's complete, which is the best way for both of us, because, and especially me as a lyricist, because a complete song is going to allow me to fully understand where he wants to go with the song. It helps me with ideas and mood, and just put myself in that mental space that I need to be in. If you don't have enough of the song, you start to write lyrics that might work better with a different feel, and you'd be hit or miss that way. And I don't know, maybe it works for other bands, but this is what works for us. So the song was complete when he sent it to me. Now,
Okay.
That being said, when I say complete, I mean the bones of the song are done. Fully complete is once he sends me about 17 revisions. No, use this one. Hey, remember that last one I just sent you? Yeah, scrap it. Use this one.
Yeah, I think it gets to a point where like I'll send him the first revision. He doesn't even listen to it. He's like, yeah, whatever. And then 10 revisions later, it's like, okay, I think this is it.
Yeah.
And
I might have a listen.
yeah.
I listen to them all, but I may not be able to tell the difference between all of them. Sometimes he'll tweak something very fine that most people aren't going to catch, but because he wrote it, of course he's going to catch it. He hears it, right? So a lot of the revisions that he does is a lot of behind noises, things that you don't think about And maybe you wouldn't notice if you listen to it, but when you hear the revised version of it, you can definitely hear where it's improved.
Right.
Right.
He's always had an
makes
ear
sense.
for that.
I think
Now
the,
there's
I think
sorry,
the
go ahead.
downfall. I think the downfall, for working the way we work, like I make the song, complete it, then I send it to him, is that once I'm done my part, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to throw vocals on this today.
Yeah.
Where like I'm not a lyricist. I cannot write lyrics to save my life. Nor can I sing. So
He's got to wait on me.
I gotta wait, and I hate waiting for everything and anything. Like I'm the worst. So
I'm like that too. I'm impatient too. When I want to get shit done, it's like right fucking now. Like it's my time. Right?
Yeah.
Why wait, Mark? Why aren't we doing this right now?
Because you have it set up in your head and I just hear about it, so I have to process that.
which is pretty well the same for us, right? I mean, it does not get any easier knowing that by the time I'm done finishing a song, I know that it's going to be weeks until vocals are on it, and weeks after that it's going to be out there. So the song that I've been waiting for, for James to come track vocals on, that's been a month, because now to his defense, he did just do another song. Like we just released this song. Like I'll bang out 2-3 songs in a day, and I'm waiting, right? So it's almost in my best interest to like only do one or two here and there,
space them out. I definitely feel your pain. Like when we were at Skull Creek Studios, the boys we got to see them create a song like in real time. Like we were there the whole day, right? Basically went in there with nothing and we walked out with the demo. And there was a part in there where we kind of stopped because we had to like close out the episode and basically, touch base on address what we were doing there throughout the day.
Yeah, because else we could have been there till
we could have been there till the next day easily.
Yeah.
But in doing that, I felt really bad having to stop the boys to fucking sit them down and ask them a couple questions about the process, because you could just see that like Liat was just itching to get back into it, like interrupting that creativity process, right? Like I felt terrible doing that, knowing that it would have been hard for them to jump back on the wave that they were already in. Like I might have fucked that all up for them by doing that, right? So what you're saying, like you create that, you're fired up, you're pumped, you're ready to go, you want it out right now, and then you hit a wall because you're like, fuck, it's going to be another week, and then it potentially lost that momentum that you had going. I get it, man. I feel it. Am I wrong?
Well, you lose your momentum. James is just getting into it.
Right.
Yeah, I when I come into the music room and start writing, I'm by myself. I don't have anybody here. I make sure like that my family doesn't need me for anything. Like it's I can't be interrupted.
Yeah.
Because I've lost good ideas from that before. And the crazy thing is about that is that I've lost ideas. Like I'm here recording my ideas, but I could be in the middle of recording an idea with another idea to follow that idea. And then if I get interrupted, that idea is gone, and then I just scrap the whole song. I've done that several times over the years, right?
James, do you have that too with your lyrics?
Pardon me?
Do you have that too with your lyrics?
With my lyrics, like the difference is it's like I don't have a music room. I don't have a place that I can go, regardless of whether my family needs me or anything like that. Like my workspace is usually in my car, where I can listen to the music and then I start doing my thing. The hard part for me, if you want to call it that, is the melody coming up with I do that before I come up with any lyrics. So basically, when it's all said and done, I could sing the song in a very nonsensical manner with no lyrics, but but I know exactly where I'm going to go with them. And then once I sit down and do lyrics, like the lyrics they usually come pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
The melody part takes a while. And just like Jay, like I'll have ideas going, and if I get interrupted, or if I have to step away from it for a day or two, then I forget what it was that I was doing. And there's been several times where it's like I've listened to a song over and over and over again, and I don't think I'm going to get it. Luckily, even by like the 8th or 9th listen, it comes back to me, and I remember what it was that I was going to do, and I can get back on track. So luckily that hasn't happened to me yet.
I have that with my phone. I have an idea, I grab my phone and I unlock it, see a notification, tap that, and my idea is gone.
Because it interrupted you. It threw you
it
off.
Distracted me from what I was thinking, and
that notification is probably me texting or trying to call you.
And
that's why you get so mad at me.
That's probably how James gets interrupted in the car. Like he'll be in the middle of singing something, and then it's me. Hey, are you done this yet? And
did you get that? Yeah, scrap that. Here's a new revision.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's you. Yeah.
I've been pretty good the last few days.
Yeah,
because I could tell you were annoyed with me.
Yeah. I noticed that yesterday and today, all morning you were quiet, except for you were asking, did you vote for my dad body yet?
Oh yeah. So here's a fun little story. So there was through Instagram, I ended up finding this thing from, I don't know, Dad Journal or Men's Journal. They're doing a contest for the best dad bod. So of course I'm just scrolling on Instagram and this pops up. So I click on it to see what it's all about. And what you do is you submit a picture of yourself, like your dad bod, if you've got one, and you answer a couple little minor questions, and if you win $25,000 and a 2-page spread in Men's Journal.
Dude, you're not gonna win that.
Why not?
Because I saw your post. You don't have a dad bod, dude.
You're
on the cusp. You're on the cusp, but like,
did you see? You should see. There's 35 guys on here that I'm up against, and the one of the guys I'm in. Today I was in 3rd place, but one of the guys in front of me just jacked, man.
Yeah,
that's not a dad bod.
Not at all. Not at all. So I'm like, this is the guy who's beating me, but it's all on shoulders, right? So
the dude has shoulders the size of my head.
You saw that picture, hey? Like he's I don't even know how to explain it. He's just fucking jacked, and there's 2 guys in that whole thing, and I'm like, you guys, like, I don't know.
Dad bod. Everybody knows the dad bod is out of shape, in shape guy. That's the dad bod.
Round's a shape.
Yeah. You see my belly on there? Like that round. That's a round shape.
There's bigger bellies out there, dude.
There is, but for a guy my stat, like I used to be pretty jacked.
You used to be skinny, is what you're saying.
Skinny, yeah. I put on like 30 pounds.
Jack's is completely different.
That picture.
I feel like you've lost weight though since the last time.
I don't think so.
When was your surgery?
Oh, you know what? You were wearing a hoodie.
Was in
you were wearing a hoodie. That's why.
That could be it. Dude, man, look at me and take away like 35 pounds. That's how small I used to be.
How tall are you?
5'8".
Oh, wow.
I'm 5'8", 150, 155.
He's 5'6".
But I used to be like 120. 120 pounds.
5'6".
Soaking wet, holding a sack of potatoes.
5'6".
You think I'm 5'6"?
I don't know. Probably.
I'm 5'8". Why would you say 5'6"? I'm 5'2".
Because you're French.
Because I'm French.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, did you vote? I sure hope you voted for me.
I absolutely voted.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you so much. So my plan with that, if I win, I think it's over next week sometime, but if I win,
September 30th,
the money is I want to put that money to Moose Fest next year. Actually, didn't the Moose Fest idea originate with these guys on air?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was my idea.
Was it? Yeah.
I'm
Send money.
Vote for my dad bod.
Yeah. Copyright 2021, 12 years today.
Yeah.
So that's your plan with the 25 Gs is to fund Moose Fest?
Well, maybe not fund the whole thing, but I definitely would put some
I
of
was
that
gonna say,
headliner.
geez, man, like
Our
maybe
price
like
alone is going to be 10 grand. So
maybe
that's not
put
going to
a
leave you with very much.
maybe put a couple grand aside for Moose Fest, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, I'm not putting the whole 25 to that, but
How
definitely.
did it go? How did Moose Fest go?
Complete success, my dude.
Yep,
It was
that's
so much
awesome.
freaking fun, man. We're organizing next year's already. We've got the date. We've got we're in negotiating with some sponsors. 7
wanna plug?
bands on the bill. What?
Did you want to plug something?
I do want to plug it. So this is an exclusive, first time announced, is in January 15th and 22nd. We're going to host, it's going to be funky, or Moose Fest and Prehistoric Productions present Clash at the Cap. So at the Capitol in Saskatoon, what we're going to be doing is taking submissions. Well, prior to that, taking submissions for, it's like a battle of the bands, right?
Right.
So we're taking submissions to come play at the Cap those 2 days. Basically on the 15th, we want the bands to go up and play 3 songs, 2 originals and a cover. And that's basically their set. And we're going to do a whole day event and, judge it. And from there, we'll go with 3 finalists to go the following weekend. And the winner is going to get a spot at Moose Fest next year. They're going to get a video credit with Prehistoric Productions and a studio credit with Skull Creek Studios and a Funky Moose Records credit on like web designing. So that's like the prize for it. So we're taking submissions that they can be emailed to clashathecap@gmail.com.
Yep.
And yeah, so we're like, that's basically the start of the promoting for next year's Moose Fest. We're going to host an event at the Capitol in Saskatoon on the 15th, try and get some more money coming to it and fucking
That sounds
party.
sweet.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so
I don't know if we can we say who we've got on the bill already? I don't think so. Hey,
No, we should.
I'll tell you off air, but I
We'll-
can't say that
We'll
on air.
we'll
right
say we're gonna have 6 bands, maybe 7.
What do we?
Is
What do
Spirit
we?
Box one of them?
now. Is who?
Is Spirit Box one of them?
I don't know who that is, man.
Wow. Okay.
I do not, but I'll look them up.
They're not huge metal guys, man.
No,
Nobody's perfect.
I'm
No, it's
definitely
a-
I'll look it out for sure.
it will be a.
What do
a-
fellas like us have to do to play at Moose Fest?
Besides buy a plane ticket.
I was just thinking how to get you out here.
I
The
would
first
drive
thing-
personally.
The first thing in order for that would be, how do we get you here for August 6th? That's the first thing. Can you
Yeah.
be here for August 6th?
I can be anywhere at any time. COVID pending.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. This is all considering COVID doesn't fucking put a nice happy pin in that,
again.
right? But
Yeah. Geez, by next summer, man. Fuck. I'd hope it's settled down.
Yeah.
no doubt. We just went on, I wouldn't call it a lockdown. Is that what it's called?
No. We just have some more restrictions. It's not a full lockdown. We can still do whatever the fuck we want. It's
Yeah.
just there are some more restrictions. Some venues you have to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
Yeah, before
That's
entering.
like that,
where
but-
we're at now too.
Yeah, but other
Yeah,
than
it starts
it's-
here in Ontario tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're rolling out some kind of an app in October for us, where basically you hold it up and it's just got a scan on it. It'll have all the information.
So
my parents actually just took a trip to Norway, from Holland to Norway, and they just have a QR code on their phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. A QR code.
They scan it, yeah, and then you're vaccinated. Keep going.
Nice.
So why can't you just show them the like thing from Sask Health, for example? Like
it's
what we have.
basically the same thing, except the person receiving you, all they have to do is scan, and their scanner will
Just
say
quicker
yes
and
or no.
convenient.
They
kinda-
explain.
They don't have
They
to-
explained here for Ontario, it's the same thing. It's just like maybe some older people, like they're not going to have a fancy phone with an app or whatever. So like by all means, you can bring your paper, your receipts, all that kind of stuff. But this is more or less a convenience thing, so you don't have to lug around, paper or a wallet or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I got my Sask Health PDF thing on my phone, so I can pull that up at any time.
I think I have a screenshot of my dates or whatever.
Oh yeah,
like from the email.
Yeah,
you know,
that works too.
Do you like living there?
Fucking hate it.
What?
If I'm gonna be honest, sorry, maybe that was a little abrupt on me. It's not that I hate it, right? I'm just fed up with it, man. I'm so done. I'm almost at the point of being done with. I don't want to go as far to say Canada, but I'm not built for the cold. I'm sick and tired of the cold, and I don't understand that why. I've come to the conclusion that I don't have to be here for the winter. So why am I torturing myself? I don't like the winter. I don't like the cold. I don't feel good in the cold.
Is that why you're putting on 35 pounds?
That could be why. Well, there's multiple factors on why that weight increased, but
maybe you just got to leave Saskatchewan and go somewhere where, where there's,
that right. That could be it too. It's just, I think, I've been in one place for too long and I need something different, I think is where I'm at in my life. That's a little personal, but it's the truth though.
I moved from Holland to here, and after, 13 years now this is home, and it's same thing. I could move somewhere else too.
Yeah. And
it doesn't matter where you go.
Right.
There's always,
as long as you guys go together, right?
Yeah. Hand in hand.
Well, that wasn't a joke. You guys seem close, and I looked like Mark was a little heartbroken when you said that you could.
That I'm out.
You fucking leave whenever you want. I was watching Mark. He looked fucking sad when you said
that. No, I know he's ready to leave. I just know he won't.
Yeah. Not yet
because I'm here.
Is it just the weather you don't like?
That's I think 70% of it is the weather.
What's the average house price there? Family home.
Couple 100,000.
Oh, in Bellevue?
Don't come here.
No. In Bellevue, it's like 150 to maybe 200.
Yeah, dude.
And is that because there's nothing there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're looking at like 7 to 900,000 here.
Yeah. See, but here's the thing: is that I don't need to go and purchase another property. Like I would always keep my house in Bellevue here, but like, what's stopping me from just getting up and taking off for like 6 months? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I can come back when the weather's nicer, like be a snowbird basically. And I think I'm leaning hard into that aspect. I think that's how it's going to be.
Man, as long as you have Wi-Fi, we can still do podcasts.
Exactly. Right. The way we've been doing it, reaching out through Zoom or whatever, like an hour a week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really, I don't have to be in Bellevue, Saskatchewan. Now, where would I go? It would be freaking everywhere and anywheres, man. Anywhere's hot.
Anywheres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere's warmer than where I currently am right now.
I don't have to be anywhere hot. As long as it's
Do you
hate it?
Above 0 in winter would be good.
But I hate the cold too.
And
I hate when it's too dry.
Perfect temperature.
Right?
I hate when it's wet.
You're gonna be the best grumpy old man ever.
I'm already there, dude.
I know.
What's your last name? Waldorf or Stetler? Which one is it?
I've been an old man for many years already.
Come on.
I was trying. No, I keep calling him an old man. He's just waiting for it.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking when you said I hate it when it's wet, and I was trying to think of some kind of innuendo I could have said with that, but and I was like, then I got to cut that.
I served that one to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You fucked that up.
I did. I was holding it.
Yeah. To get back to Moose Fest, how do we get these guys to Moose Fest?
Okay, so we got to figure out how to get you to Saskatchewan. So are you driving or flying?
I personally would drive.
James, would you hop in with him?
I'd probably drive behind him or in front of him.
You couldn't sit in the car with me for that long?
No, I don't sit in cars. I drive them.
Oh, you're one of those. Yeah, see, like that's how I am too.
Yeah, I can't do it.
How long of a drive would that be? 16 hours?
Oh my God, longer than that.
Is it?
Yeah, two and a
The
half
problem, the
days.
problem with where we are is we'd literally have to drive
You have
like
to drive
couple
that amount
hours
of time
north.
north.
Yeah, we got to go all the way around Lake. What is it?
We got to go up up to Thunder Bay, and
Yeah,
like that's like 15 hours from here.
that's the problem. Like if
You
if
got to
we're
do
more
15
direct
hours.
route-
Holy fuck. 15 hours north before you can even start heading out west.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Can't you go through the US?
Not right now. You can't.
well, not presently.
Next
Why
year.
not? I thought you can.
No, you can
No.
fly to the US, but you can't. We can't drive there.
Are you sure? I thought I just looked this up on Saturday and I think you can.
No, they can drive here. We can't drive there. We're letting them in by vehicle. They're not letting us in.
Okay, but that's going to change September
Nope.
30th or October 30th? No, am I
It
completely
was
off?
originally supposed to change in July and then August. And
They
then
just keep
September.
extending it.
Yeah, they just keep moving the goalpost, right?
But
Yeah.
we're talking August 6th next year. So
Yeah,
maybe.
we've been in this for like
Oh.
what, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so then, okay, wait. So, okay, driving, that's a hell of a long drive. We're looking at what, 30, 40-hour drive. Or what's a flight? What's a plane ticket to Saskatoon?
Return flights probably $500.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be wiser to just do that?
I mean, if you're looking to save time, yeah, I would love to do the drive.
Yeah.
I've flown out west. Geez, I did it twice a month for a year, and then a couple other times for my other job. So I hate flying. I'm not
I've
scared
driven
or
out-
anything. I fucking hate it. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like flying either. If I'm going to like Mexico or something like that, like I totally get it and I'll get on a plane for that. But I prefer driving. And I've driven out east before. It's a beautiful drive. So now I kind of like to go in the other direction.
Right. Right. All right. So a 30-day drive. I almost said flight.
30 day.
Or 30 hours.
Okay.
Jeez. 30.
Yeah,
let's
we'd have to like, everyone would have to coordinate a minimum week off work, and we'd have to like figure out. Well, me personally, I would, yeah, I would have to figure out how I'm bringing my wife and daughter, which they'd be all for it. They'd love to do it, but
So
Right.
Google Maps is telling me right now that it would take.
to Bellevue. You typed in Bellevue or just Saskatchewan?
I typed in Saskatoon.
Okay.
No, it's close enough.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
45 minutes.
So it would to drive would take between 1 day and 4 hours and 1 day and 6 hours. So
Interesting.
yeah, about 30 some odd hours.
Okay.
it's awesome. That's how many kilometers, James?
Oh, 1 sec, I just still here. We're looking at about 2,800 kilometers.
Yeah, so 2 days, 30
So
hours
six-
in an oil change, 60 hours in an oil change of driving.
Yeah,
That's
6,000
not bad.
kilometers.
Okay. So then are you guys coming to party or coming to perform or
Um,
both?
I would want to perform.
Yes,
I don't party.
definitely not like it's 1999.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit, man. I didn't think I partied anymore neither until that last Moose
Oh,
Fest.
man.
Oh, dude, it was so
Oh.
much fun, man. We had a ball.
Oh, I guess, I mean, depending on the type of party, if it's like I'm not much of a drinker anymore. I can't handle it.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I was sober that whole night, but we fucking partied.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I
awesome.
think I had 4 beer or something, but that's
Yeah,
about
we
it.
were up
It
till
was-
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh my
I
god.
know, right?
I could never.
I know.
do that.
No, just
I didn't
skip
think I
your sleep.
could neither. And
Jay-
we,
telling you,
Jay's
it's
probably
fine.
struggling right now.
I'm not struggling, but like, I mean, you have me for 8 more minutes.
yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I would say, okay, so then,
So 6,000 kilometers.
yeah,
listen,
we're
listen.
driving.
For the record, I would have to convince James that we would find players by then.
You know what
So,
you could do as
Right.
don't do
well?
too much
You
planning.
could book some other gigs around the area on your way through. Fuck, you could do a little tour. Never mind of just around here. do the whole
Well, we have jobs.
the whole drive.
Yeah, but we'd be off for a week, James.
Book, well, not even
We
a
get
week.
holidays.
2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and do a little tour. Come to Western Canada. Hit
I
up
have
a
no
gig every
interest in
couple
doing.
nights.
I have no interest in doing a Western Canada tour. We
No.
we have.
Unfortunately, we have no fans in that area. Like,
Well,
We are-
I mean,
Here,
Yeah,
man.
there's two right here.
You got 2 sitting right here.
you're gonna come
Sweet.
to every show.
Uh,
I think the issue, like the big issue, is we haven't, like, we're still so like small, right? Like we've put music out for the last few years for sure, but like we haven't played a show yet. We haven't done any of that stuff. So
We can't
To just-
really tour per se. We're more or less looking if we did anything like that to piggyback on somebody else, you know, who would have the onus of getting the draw. You know what I mean?
yeah, like we'd
Best.
open for a couple people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, man. Every time I think about a show, I'm just like, oh, well, we need to do this.
So
And
then
then,
maybe Moose Fest could be the one that kicks you guys off. You'll get that taste for it, and you'll be like, "Fuck, I want to do this again,
and again and again.
and then again, and then again."
yeah, not for a living, but yeah,
And
maybe.
Fuck my job.
I would never do that.
No?
No. Like not to go like
Right.
make it in music. Not a chance. I mean, look at
What about producing music?
I already do that on the side.
Nice. Is there any like what kind of stuff? Who have you produced for outside of your own band? You know what I mean? That can you talk about that or?
I mean, I can. There are not many people like this is over the course of however many years, but like I've done some hardcore bands, which were a lot of fun. I've done I did an EP for a country artist where she brought in some songs like her melody, lyrics, and acoustic guitar. I brought in a pedal steel player. I played drums on it. I brought in session players.
Right.
That was a really good time. And then yeah, like just different artists. Actually, I was two country artists. I think back far enough. And I've never gone like all in kind of thing. I don't want it to be work. I just enjoy
Right.
doing it.
Gotcha.
And-
That makes sense.
And you know, you look at all the bands, so many bands, ones that are established, ones that were just starting out, how they got affected by this whole COVID thing. And I'm like, I just couldn't imagine going through that at
Well,
any
that-
stage of my career in music.
Right.
If you know, like I know a band who's doing on paper really well, and this just screwed them. Like it screwed them. Like they're already still living at home because
Right.
I mean the money you make doing this, even professionally, like if you think you make good money, you don't. Now that's not a knock on them. Like it's a lifestyle, right? It's something you choose to do, and it's not about the money per se, but Jesus Christ, at the end of the day, like you still need to be able to afford to live.
Like
Yep.
like food in your belly and a roof on your head.
Yeah, man. I got a kid, man, now.
Yeah,
So that's
gotcha.
like
To
I don't
put it
I
in
don't care.
perspective, that average band that's out there, especially the ones that are just starting, you know, that look like they're living it up, which they probably are and stuff, but like money wise, like either one of us, like Jason or myself, make way more money than they do just with our regular jobs. To
Right.
put that into perspective.
Yeah.
Like he said, it's a lifestyle. That's more or less what you go off of. There's the potential to make all kinds of money, but to do that, especially in this day and age, and even like I'm saying this like before COVID, because the music industry changed vastly well before
Right.
COVID. You pretty much have to grind, like tour, like tour like bands did back in the 90s when it was considered grueling. You know, now it's just considered like that's what you got to do just to make enough to survive.
Right.
You know, that's your bread and your butter. I mean, especially with not being able to have like solid album sales like they did back in the day.
Right. Well, and I keep hearing, I've heard this tossed around a lot lately, is the bands having to pay to play, right? So they've got to book their own venue. So if that venue's like $500 for the night, they have to pay $500, but then they're obligated to fill those seats, right? So if they don't sell enough tickets, then they have to make their $500 back before they even start profiting from that.
Yep.
And if you only make $100 and you got 5 people in the band, so what? You fucking did all that work for what? $20, $30?
Yeah, it can be very discouraging, and you know, like to James's comment, like us making money with our job, like that's not a knock.
No.
Yeah.
On bands, like I admire anyone who goes and does what they want to do. They're living their dream, and
100%.
So what if they make X? Who cares? That's not what it's about, right?
Right.
Yep. I'm just saying and I can speak for James too, is that like if this was 15 years ago, like we were aiming for that kind of life. Like that's where we were heading. I wouldn't in a million years. It could be, maybe I'm shooting us in the foot, James, by saying this, but like if there was a record deal that plopped on the table in front of me and it was like, yeah, we'll pay you $50,000 a year, which that wouldn't happen, but let's say $50,000 a year. But you got to tour like extensively. I'd be like, no, thanks. Nope. We're good. No. I think I'm just going to continue to make songs in my basement and release them with a friend of,
right.
Years and years and years. And
then that way your music stays fun to do too. Like if you're not in it and you're not in it to tour.
I mean, it's already grown into more than just a hobby, which is what it was when we started. It's definitely more than that. Mm-hmm. We're both passionate about it. We've built a brand, so to speak. The difference is
and a following
for sure. We definitely have in a short time span. The difference is we're literally not looking for like world domination in that aspect. I mean, nor would we really be capable of doing that at this stage in our lives, not because of say lack of talent. I mean, I don't like saying that about myself, but I know that about my bandmate. He literally has every tool that it takes to write the best song you're going to hear on the radio at any given day. And that being said, it's all the other stuff that comes with it, like the grinding, like touring relentlessly and whatnot, that just we don't have the time to do. I mean, we definitely have boxes that lots of boxes that we have yet to tick off that we probably still want to.
And playing live, and don't get us wrong, like playing live is absolutely a box that's there to be ticked. Like,
yes,
we want to play live. We want to experience that again. We want to share the stage with bands, especially bands that we've been connecting with over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. Like all that stuff's something that we want to do. It's just it's the career.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would be nice to like try and plan a show in the UK on X date of X year and just kind of work towards that, but it not being part of some kind of like 12 years today world tour or whatever. It's just a one and done, like, hey, we're planning a trip to London with the family or whatever, right?
Yeah, like the experience of it, right? To go for like 2 weeks, get in some gigs, have like
something like that. Yeah,
I got you.
And just announce it to say like our UK fans, like, so we're going to be in the UK and we're going to be playing these venues or this one venue even or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's that. And it's more like, without thinking of it as a tour, it's more like, no, that's just a really cool thing that we did on our vacation.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I was kind of poking at with the whole Moose Fest thing. It's just like that that is something that, you know, providing we had the players and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying specifically Moose Fest. I know you guys have your plans. I'm not trying to intrude on them. I'm just saying, like, if we had an opportunity with something like that where we would have to travel, it's if we incorporated that into our life, like our day-to-day life, like making it part of our week holiday or 2-week holiday or whatever, and that's like in there in the mix. And you know, we'd travel however far with, you know, our other live band mates and all this stuff. Yeah, I'd be all for that.
Yeah,
I like that.
If you want your holidays in Saskatchewan around August 6th,
we're gonna have to elaborate on this conversation a little bit more off air.
I'm gonna have to find a guitar player and a drummer.
Yeah, there's a lot of other boxes we need to tick before we can even talk about that.
And I'm not easy. Let's put it that way. I'm not easy. I
think if not to play, I think you guys should just come out and vacation next year in August and come hang out.
It'd be so cool to meet you guys in person.
Yeah,
I think it'd
for
be
sure.
badass.
That's been kind of a big bucket list for us too.
Meet us,
over these last eight months, so to speak, is meeting everybody that we've built a rapport with. You know, obviously you guys included in that.
We've actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because the last month or two, that's exactly what we've been doing. So a lot of the guests that we've had on the show, like, I mean, basically after July 11th with Moose Fest and everything, like the bands that played at Moose Fest, we've had them on the show before. So Moose Fest was the first time we got to meet them in person. So that was just like, oh my God, you know, I feel like I know you and all that kind of shit. It was a lot of fun, right? Then we ended up the weekend after that, we went to Winnipeg and we got to meet Exo Murda and Northern Royals, who were guests on the show. So we got to meet them in person. Then we met Frankie from Channel 33 RPM.
I met him before, but yeah.
So I got to meet him. That was the first time there. Who else did we freaking get to meet?
Weapons.
We got to meet Weapons in person. We saw them play in Prince Albert at a show. Like fucking. So that's exactly what we're going through right now. All these people that, like, friends that I consider friends, like, of the show and personally, getting to meet them in person, and just like we've heard it a few times where people are saying like, oh, you're just like you are on the show. And we're like, yeah, we're open books, man. Like, this is like legitimately who we are. Like, we're real. Yeah. This isn't a bit or anything. This is legit. So it's freaking pretty fun. It's been a lot of fun. This summer was one of my most memorable summers I've had ever.
You guys have grown, like Funky Moose has grown into something much bigger than it was when we first spoke. When we first did that podcast with you months ago. Like, you guys are into everything now. Like, I'm literally just waiting for you guys to come out with your own bottle of whiskey now. Like,
oh, and we've had that conversation.
Talked about this.
I'm not surprised. That's awesome.
It's a lot of this stuff, the way that in my opinion, the way the business and the podcast and what everything has evolved into, it's never really been officially planned.
Yeah,
it's basically been an opportunity to do something, and we're like, yeah, all right, let's fucking do it.
Yeah,
like,
and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whatever.
Yeah, and then so it's basically us. I don't think there's been anything we've really said no to, has there? A couple little things, but nothing.
Well, we don't have whiskey yet.
Yeah.
Or beer.
Whiskey. Well, and the reason. So here's a solid reason why that isn't happening, and probably won't, is because I don't drink, man. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I haven't drank since 2012, and I can't see myself being involved with alcohol. Like, it doesn't click, right? It doesn't make sense.
That's what I find weird when I see James Hetfield pimping blackened whiskey. You know, like he's a recovered alcoholic, but right? But buy my whiskey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually why I stopped following The Rock on Instagram. He was just plugging that fucking tequila all the time. And I was like, I'm out. Like, I can't, like, this doesn't appeal to me. I can't relate to this, and I'm not okay with it. So I just stopped following him. I didn't need to see that. I understand it and I get it, like, once in a while, but like, when that's all you're freaking talking about or trying to ram down my throat, like, ease up, man. Like,
Well,
know what the
especially if it's a
last-
trigger, like you don't need that, right? Like just
Right.
you
Yeah.
don't need to be
And
reading all that
about-
shit.
Exactly. It's all about realizing those triggers and separating myself from them, and then life is just so much better.
I think
Yep.
the last time that I drank, I want to say was our acoustic rehearsal, James.
Like the last time you had a beer?
Like the last time, so I had one beer since then, when my wife and we were on holidays and we were like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, I'll get a fire going. And she's like, you want to have a drink? I'm like, I guess. And we like neither of us finished it.
Right.
But
I feel like you and I have had beer.
I have my non-alcoholic beer. I would not.
That's
have had
true.
A beer. Yeah, I would not have had a beer. The
Yeah.
non-alcoholic stuff is good.
See,
just-
and we've
You just
had
stocks all the beer for
conversation
when I
too.
come over.
That's
Like-
exactly
like-
what I do.
If let's say in theory, if there was a liquor company that wanted a beer,
yeah.
a brewery that wanted the sponsor or whatever, just wanted to give us some stuff, the conversation turned into like, well, what if they have a non-alcoholic beer? Would we then promote them then? And at that time, I would still say no. And the reason for that would be because when I drank to get drunk. And
Right.
I didn't like the taste of it. I was drinking to get drunk. So why would I drink a drink that I don't like the taste of, right?
Yep.
Like a non-alcoholic drink. Like what's the point? It's like
Yeah,
drinking
see, like non-alcoholic pale ale. There's one that is made up north here in Ontario, and like I loved the taste of beer. I hated getting drunk, and I was never like a mean drunk. I was always happy and
Right.
dancing and singing, and I would basically a night partying with me. I'm like hoarse the next day, can't talk because I'm just
Yeah.
doing comedy bits out on Buddy's back porch, or I'm singing karaoke, or I'm dancing, or whatever. Literally,
Right.
that's how it was. And during that moment was a fucking great time. But you know,
Hey.
the next like days, not even the day, the next day,
Right.
Yeah.
is
it's
old.
just not worth it.
Agreed.
Agreed. And
This is so weird, you guys talking about all this while I'm sitting here like throwing back beers, but
You got to have one for us, man.
Yeah.
I had
No,
two.
Cheers.
no, I'll drink beer socially.
I think come Christmas time I might have an inkling, but I don't even know.
You ever
I don't even
drink
know.
eggnog?
Oh, I've never had it.
Is there booze? There's booze in eggnog, is
Nope.
Yeah, rum. Well,
Ken-
not in it. You
rum,
add
right?
it.
You
there?
add
You got
rum.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you add rum to it usually.
Sounds
Not a fan.
disgusting.
That's a favorite of mine over the holidays for sure.
Really?
Eggnog?
Yeah.
I have never. If I've had
So,
it, I don't remember.
For me, eggnog was never a thing until I moved here, and then my wife bought a carton of eggnog, and I was like, oh, okay, and I polished that thing before Christmas.
Yeah, that's how I
And-
Rum
and
or
then she was
without
like,
rum?
Did you add rum? Like, you're supposed to. And that was also the last time I had eggnog because I was so sick of it after that.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it for sure. It's
Yeah.
so weird because like I've had eggnog like as long as I can remember, like since I was a little kid. But it's funny when I think about it now as a full-grown adult, like just eggnog. Like if I had never had it in my life up to this point, there is nothing fucking appealing about the sound of it at all. Like,
No.
hey man, you want to try some eggnog? Like, no, thank you. No, I do not. What is that?
Right?
You know,
Yeah. That was my first response too. Like, what the hell is this
it
shit?
just sounds
And-
gross, but it's not. It's delicious.
I try it, and it's like, yeah, well, okay, I guess it's the thing for the holidays. I guess this is what I'm drinking.
I'm such a dummy. I thought that there was like I didn't realize you had to add booze to that.
Yeah.
You
gonna
don't
try.
have to.
But I mean, what I'm getting at is there's a non-alcoholic drink that I can have on the holidays. Maybe
Absolutely.
if it
Eggnog,
tastes
yeah,
good.
for sure.
If anything, it's supposed to be non-alcoholic. It's just assholes like me who ruin it for everybody.
Who are yeah, right? Just add some rum into this. Fucking pirates. That's
I was
fine.
like, I'm the guy walking around at the school dance or whatever with the little Mickey.
Yeah. Nice. Hell yeah. You guys got how about Halloween? You guys got plans for Halloween?
Yeah. A couple families in the neighborhood are getting together and going trick or treating because we all have kids that are 3.
So when you do that, do you dress up as well, or are you that dad who's just like driving them block to block?
No, I absolutely will dress up if the
Hell
wife
yeah.
if the wife like gets us costumes, I will. Yeah, I'll be fun.
Yeah. Same with
Nice.
me. My wife makes all of our costumes, and she's phenomenal. She missed a calling somewhere. Like, she probably could have worked in the movie industry making all that stuff, like maybe for Weta Workshop or something like that. But yeah, we're not doing the trick-or-treating thing in our house this year, but what we're going to do the same thing. We repeated last year since the pandemic started, is we kind of treat it like Easter. So we hide a whole bunch of treats, candy and whatnot throughout the house.
Okay.
And my son, searches for them like you would at Easter.
Right.
And then the thing that I did last year that I'm going to double up on this year, is I buried a gift in the backyard. And I put like, one of those little dollar store, like tombstone things on it. So it looked like a fresh grave. And we left notes and stuff like that, like to lead him out there and explain to him.
Thing. Yeah.
And I literally made him dig out his own gift or whatever. So he pulled it out and he was ecstatic. So I'm gonna do a couple of those this year, really make him work for it. But I mean, I make it sound like he's like, you're making your kid work for it, but like he loved every second of it. He's like,
Sure.
digging up a grave, but it's
What was the gift? I have to ask.
I believe it was a Harry Potter thing. 'Cause he dressed up as Harry Potter last year. He's a huge Harry Potter geek, so am I. And I think they called them time capsules. Just one of those collectible things, like you collect all 10 or whatever. And yeah, we put that in a Ziploc bag and I buried it about, I think it was about 2 feet deep. Nice. I really made him work for it. It would have been deeper, but I kept hitting roots.
Yeah. You got lazy.
No, yeah, I was like, this is too much work. Just shove it in there. And
just dump a pile of dirt on top of it instead of digging out, right? Yeah. Just get a bag of sand.
Well, it's funny. I put all the dirt back on top of the hole and I like started packing it down or whatever. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You got an 8-year-old who's going to try and dig this up. Like, and I'm not giving him a real shovel. Like he's using like a garden, like one of those hand garden shovels,
like a beach shovel kind of thing.
Like just same size. I mean, I at least gave him a steel one. So he was able to penetrate the dirt with it at least.
No, that's a good idea. I'm trying to think of what the hell we did last year.
Yeah, me too.
We usually deck the shit out of our house, man.
Yeah, we do too.
We just have like people in town driving by the house, and I got tombstones and smoke machines and stuff throughout the yard and lights and all that kind of shit. It's pretty fun.
I had a whole scene last year with caution tape and inflatables.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I love that stuff. We've got, and generally every year we add like a big item, right? The inflatable things like the big Grim Reaper and stuff like that.
Us too.
So when my son was 2 years old, I think this was his the first attempt we had to try and bring him out trick-or-treating. I've got one of those big 12-foot high Grim Reaper inflatable things, right? Anyways, we were in the process of decorating the yard and I'm holding my son. He's 2 years old. And we had this Grim Reaper started inflating. So it's like, I don't know if you can see my arm, but it's coming up real slow, sort of. Right. And it's like kind of kinked at the waist coming up. And then my wife like pulled the rope to like anchor it down. And as she did that, it like kinked at the waist and started coming down towards us. And then there was like just this creepy red-eyed Grim Reaper came like very slowly towards my son and like landed on him. Scared the shit out of him for like the next 4 years. He was petrified of Halloween.
Nice.
Right. So we didn't take out the Halloween decorations for like 4 years after that.
Mission accomplished.
Until last year. Maybe it was 3 years. Because last year he was okay with us like doing it again. So we had a lot of fun last year. Yeah. Halloween.
I don't think my kid wants to go back into Spirit. They've got some really cool animatronic stuff in there, and he just was not having it. Like when he first walked in there, he's like, it was almost like Christmas or Candyland or something. His eyes are all wide, like, wow, look at all this. And then just the creepiest things, like stuff out of like a Guillermo del Toro movie or something like that, you know, and he's like just staring at this stuff. And of course they all make sounds and whatnot. And he was pretty much spooked the entire time we were in there.
Yeah, my little dude too. I brought him in there once. I think he was too young to be in there at that time for sure.
Is Jason asleep yet?
No, but I'm leaving to go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I figured, because it's.
Do you like my honesty though? Like, would you rather me just pretend to like?
It's exactly how I am.
What
If
can
Paul
I
is
do?
here too late, I'm telling him.
What can I do to have you stay on 30 more minutes?
There's not a chance. There's nothing you can do.
What about 15?
I like it.
Yeah, there's literally nothing you could do.
Not even 15 more minutes?
I've gone 20 minutes past my.
He's already 20 minutes after. Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to talk to you guys. I'd love to keep talking to you guys.
I know, but you said you're on a strict time. That's fair.
I would be happy to do this again anytime you want.
So can I leave the stuff at the start in? Or no?
The stuff at the start. What's the stuff about Spotify?
My only concern about that, and it's not that I don't want to talk about it. If that conversation gets stirred up again,
yep,
then I get it.
Amongst people.
Yeah, we're not looking for that unwanted attention. You know?
I understand.
That didn't. That's all. Do you guys have to have a certain length of time?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm just trying to keep you on the call as long as I possibly can.
Oh, okay.
I respect you, so if you want to leave, you can leave. But him, on the other hand,
I completely respect you guys, man. I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah,
for sure.
Same here.
Yeah, I honestly like talking with you guys, not even about our music or any of that shit. I just like shooting the shit. You guys are fun. I don't like many people, but I like you guys.
Let me tell you another Halloween story real quick then. So I don't know how it is out there, but do you guys ever get, like, when people trick or treat, do you ever get those kids that, like, when you open the door and they just fucking stand there and stare at you?
So I have a story.
All the time.
You win. You're gonna get me for 5 minutes.
Okay, so here's what I do with that, and then I want to hear your story. Okay. So that irritates the shit out of me, right? Is because when I was a kid going trick or treating, you say trick or treat, and then you either you don't always get candy. Sometimes you get tricked, right? Because that's what you're saying, trick or treat, right? Mm-hmm. So nowadays, it happens so much where the doorbell will ring, the door will knock, whatever, and I'll answer the door, and they're just standing there looking at me. So if they don't say trick or treat, then they get a trick. And my trick is I'll have cans of silly string, and I'll just fucking hose them down with. But in their
That's awesome.
I give them a solid 3, 5, 10 seconds. Like, I'll stare right back at them, like, and I'm just like, "Hi, like, what are you doing here?"
I need you to get that on
opportunity.
Camera. I need you to get that on camera. That is amazing.
Oh, I will. I totally will get that on camera.
Could you imagine being the parent
doing that for a couple of years now?
Imagine being the parent at the end of the driveway, and just all of a sudden
they love it.
Their kid.
They fucking love it, man. The kids are now. I've been doing this. Well, last year not so much because there wasn't that much trick or treating, right? But the 2 years prior, it started getting, like, in town. The kids knew that if they would get hosed with silly string at my place if they didn't do that, and now they're, like, coming expecting it. So, like, I buy all this candy because we get it, like, over 100 kids come to the house for candy. I buy all this shit. None of it goes out because they never say trick or treat. So I'm fucking buying more silly string than I am candy. And they just have so much fun, man. I chase them out of the yard and everything. It's like, get out of here. Like, it's a good time, man.
My story isn't even, like, remotely as good. It's actually, it's kind of fucked up. This is going back, like, a few years ago, and the doorbell rang, and I opened the door, and there's this kid I forget the costume. I was fucking like traumatized. I opened the door, the kid's standing there, and he's like, I gotta go pee. And I'm like, okay. And he literally just pisses himself
Oh no.
on my doorstep. And like like and you know, like if a dude pisses himself, it's usually contained in the leg. This pee was like there was a fucking lake on my doorstep.
Was this here?
And in Wasaga, yeah.
Yeah.
And I literally was just standing there like this with my hands up like this, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, "What's happening?" And the kid starts crying, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I'm like, "Is this someone's kid?" And then the dad comes, and he's just like, "Oh, come on." I'm like, "Don't get mad at the kid, dude. Like, you're a shitty parent." But like literally a lake, and now I'm just like, did I get a fucking tea towel or what do I do here? So I mean, I shut the lights off and I pulled the hose out and I sprayed the doors, the doorstep down, and I called her a night. I was fucked up.
How old do you think that kid would have been? Maybe 4?
Dude, at most
12.
Yeah, 16. Were you guys trick-or-treating at 16?
No.
Fuck no.
I think I did. I think that was the last time I went.
The last time I went, I think I was 13, and I'd already started growing facial hair.
Oh yeah, dude. We had our driver's licenses the last time I went.
There you go.
Oh, dude, not me. Okay, listen, I'm leaving. I'm cutting James off. I'm cutting everybody off. I'm leaving. It's 10:25. I don't know how I'm gonna survive tomorrow, but it was a blast. It was really good. It was really good seeing you guys. Thanks again for the for all the merch help and setting all that up.
100%.
We really appreciate it. And we will for sure be in touch about everything Saskatchewan.
You bet, buddy. I'll text.
Bastard, I was waiting for my time to get that in.
Saskatchewan. I'll text you who we got planned for next year's festival.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. And I've seen a couple of the bands that you've been posting about recently, and they're dope, dude.
Right on.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good guys
Okay.
too.
Yep.
James, you're gonna stick around for a little bit longer? Or are you
I'll stick around for a little bit.
Okay.
You might have them for 10 minutes.
10 more minutes.
Can I put
Peace out, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Right on.
All right, it's just me.
Do you know you have your trick or treat all wrong? When a kid goes up to the door,
I'm supposed to say trick or treat?
no, the kid says trick or treat, but you don't get to trick them.
No, but I'm tricking him because he doesn't say shit.
I get it, but when a kid walks up to your door and
they
says
trick me.
trick or treat, and if you don't give them a treat, they'll give you a
They'll
trick.
give me trick. Yeah, that's right.
So they TP
Oh,
your
yeah,
house.
that is how it's supposed to work,
That's
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. But they're not saying anything.
yeah. So you trick them. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I like what he does better. If that makes it any better.
I love it.
Oh yeah, man.
Honestly.
So
we don't get any trick-or-treaters. Like where I live is like we're not out of town, but we're on our way out of town. So we're like literally out of the way of everything. And like, I mean, my town is built very strangely. So we don't really have a grid system. There's not a lot of like sidewalks. I mean, there's more now, but basically anyway, we live off of a highway for the most part.
Right.
So like last year? Last year or the year before, because maybe not last year, because I don't think a lot of people were trick-or-treating at all. But we got our first kid ever. I've been living in this house for 10 years. And we got our first kid ever. And it was like a kid after my own heart. He showed up, he was dressed like Batman. And I mean, there's no other real significant part to that story. It's just, he was this big, super adorable Batman, trick or treat with the squeaky voice or whatever. And of course, we didn't have anything.
Yeah, it was just...
but we had already, I guess it was, my kid had a bag full of the stuff that he'd found last year, like because we did like I said, like the Easter style or whatever. So I'm just kind of like, hey, bud. I'm like, well, okay, just 1 second. And I kind of motion over to my kid. I'm like, hey, like, do you mind giving this kid something out of your bag? And he's like, sure. So he just went and he just starts unloading stuff on this kid. Like, here's some chips, here's some chocolate bar. Like, just, it was really cool. And like the mom was like super ecstatic or whatever. And it was kind of weird because like the car was pulled up in front of our house. So like they were literally just driving from house to house. And I think it's because, you know, during the pandemic, especially last year when everybody had a lot more fear, some people were just literally driving around looking for houses with their lights on. And I guess we had our lights on. So,
yep,
you know, not expecting anybody to actually show up.
I find that trick-or-treating in town here, like the kids don't walk anymore.
No?
The parents just drive them from house to house. And was it last year or the year before? You know how farmers, I don't know if you know how farmers live, but some farmers have meal vans or meal buses. So they have an old school bus that they convert so that the people that work the field can have their meals in that bus.
Okay.
And they just loaded up kids in that bus.
Yeah.
And drove around. So you have 15 kids at once, and then you give them candy, and then they leave, and then you don't have anything for half an hour because that was all the kids that was in town.
Yeah, we piled up last year. We didn't do like all of Bellevue, but we did a good chunk of Bellevue, and then we carpooled to the next town over. And basically we would like pull up we started at one end of town, let the kids out, and we'd drive to the end of the block. And then the kids would trick or treat up the street, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then they get in the van, and then we'd go over to the next block, drop them off again, and then meet them at the other end and go up and down the whole, like, it's not a very big town, right? It's like maybe 5 or 6 streets. And then we hit up that whole town and then came home. So we did 2 towns last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think we had like a pillowcase and a half of candy or some shit like that.
So my daughter, I guess my son went once, but he was too young to understand what was going on. But my daughter went around town, and then that year we did the Switch Witch. So my wife became the Switch Witch, and in exchange for all of their candy, we would switch it out for something like a movie pass for theater, or
right,
something not as bad as chocolate bars and
candy.
I have never heard of that ever. That's cool.
And it's
so you would make this kid an offer kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you want to go, or I think it was swimming. We gave him the option. Do you want to go swimming with your cousins, or do you want to keep all your candy? So then it was like, ooh, which is more valuable?
That's extortion.
No, it's an offer. And if they want to keep the candy, fine.
They don't know what they're agreeing to.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man! I love Halloween. I would freaking
I hate Halloween.
Trick or treat every house, every town if possible, man. And that's what I mean. We were 16 years old. As soon as school was over, I remember this year we did the whole town. I think it was like maybe from 3:30 till 5 or 5:30. We finished that town. We got in the cars. We hit up all the acreages on the way to the next town. Did that town. Did all the acreages onto the, we did 4 towns that night. Like I went from 3:30 to like 10:30 at night. I trick or treated. That was the last time I ever went. I feel like we did 3 towns, but we did the first one twice because we finished back in our hometown, but we switched our costumes. So we hit up that first town again to close the night out. That's what we did. If I remember that.
So my last one, like I was saying, I think I was 13. I was already growing facial hair. I dressed up as a woman that year, so that made the outfit even better. So I had like this little bit of facial hair going on. I started smoking at 13. So I was ringing doorbells, knocking on the door or whatever, and they'd open the door, and here's this, I don't know, teenager, I guess this teenager standing there with an open bag with a little tuft of hair on their chin and a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. And I'm like, trick or treat, like that, in the deepest voice I could make. And it's funny. 9 out of 10 people were basically like, that's hilarious. And like they get like only one person was just like, you should be ashamed of yourself, like, and all that. And
That's
I didn't care.
that,
It was
that would be Mark scolding you. Mark would be scolding you.
No. Nope. I don't do that.
Yeah, right.
I don't rain on kids' parades like that.
To their face, right? You'll do it behind closed doors.
No.
though.
No, I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy.
No.
Yeah, I love Halloween, man. I'm
Yeah.
fired up for it. Hey, I do have a question for you about your vocals on the new song, though.
Okay.
Like near the chorus, when you kind of get into that more aggressive growl part of
Yeah.
it, have you done that in other songs before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have. I feel like I turned it up a notch for this one. This song had a very aggressive feel to it to begin with. But our song Burn, off our Humanity EP, I
Right.
do a lot of that kind of thing. So this was more or less me going back to that mindset and sort of reinventing it, because I didn't do it really the same way that I did before.
And maybe that's what I kind of noticed then. I was like, holy shit, like it was awesome. I loved it.
Thank
And
you.
I was just trying to remember if I had heard it in like previously. Because I didn't go back in like the back catalog or anything. Like I haven't,
Right.
like I'll be honest, I haven't listened to your music in quite a few months. And then today I know, I'm just being honest. And then today I listened to that song because I knew there was a new one out. And when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, like fucking A. I remember why I'm a fan.
Well, over the course of us doing this, both of us really, we continue to grow as musicians. As much as Jay is writing probably some of the best stuff he's ever written. Blood from Our Eyes basically being, as far as I'm concerned, is the best thing we've put out to date. That opinion will vary based on people's tastes and stuff like that, but as far as a creative aspect, it's what we feel is the best thing we've put out thus far. And it's for those reasons. Him and I are very proud of what he wrote musically, and I'm very proud of the lyrics that I came up with, and my vocals. I feel like my range has grown exponentially over the course of 4 EPs, and it just continues to kind of get better and better for us in that aspect. So yeah, with the growls, they're a little bit different. I think I was able to hold on to a bit more of a melodic tone while at the same time making it sound aggressive. Something
Right.
Jay's actually been trying to get out of me for a while. And I feel like every time he's asked me for it, I've given him what he wanted, but I feel like this was really what we were trying to tap into the whole time.
Right.
Right.
It was like, even like as far as like the timing of it, like when you bring it out in that course, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's perfect, man. I fucking love it, dude.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
It was awesome.
Can we use your song? Can you submit your song to our radio show?
Have we not done that?
The new one?
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, I can do that.
How about, can I close this episode with that song too? I know it's out on
Of course you
YouTube
can.
already.
Mhm.
And we'll probably get flagged for that, but so
Why would you get flagged for that?
because
Copyrights.
copyright, because you've
They
already,
just do it automatically?
yeah.
Oh,
If
okay.
it's already released. Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. So, but we've had that flag come up.
So
before.
all you got to do then is just use the version off of our personal YouTube account and not the one that our distributor sends the music to. So the account that has all of our podcasts on it, it should be fine because I literally create that video.
Right, but it recognizes the song
Oh,
And
is
it
that what it does?
it comes from. Yeah. It'll just I don't know.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Well, either way, I can email you a proper proper MP3 of that, and you can use it however you see fit, for sure.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. If you're okay with it.
Yep.
Of course. I've been sending emails out for the last couple of days, and I just run out of time while I'm doing it, and then I have to try and remember where I left off and whatnot. Like, I mean, if this was a full-time gig for me, I mean, this shit would have been all done in like one sitting properly and professionally. But I got to do it in chunks right now, and I know, like, even after talking to you guys, like a couple of weeks from now, I'm gonna get a message from somebody going like, "Hey, am I gonna get a copy of this song?" And I'll be like, "Shit," and I have to send that person a copy of the song. And it is what it is.
Right. Well, why don't you let the people listening know where you want to direct them to find your music?
Well, you can find our music on literally any streaming site. It's available on all platforms. So fill your boots on whichever is your preference, whatever you've got. We do most of our promotion through Spotify, but that doesn't mean that's where you have to listen to it. Title. Yeah.
Okay, right on. With that, we're gonna say goodbyes to the people listening. But I want you to stick around a little bit, because I got a couple other things off air stuff. So
okay.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for
having us, man.
It was a real pleasure, man.
Yep,
and I'm looking forward to seeing you at Moose Fest, August 6th.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Right on, brother.
Take care, guys. blood